5 British soap stars from the 80s who disappeared without warning. 1 minute, they were on your screen every night. The next, gone. No goodbye, no headlines, no explanation. These soap stars didn't just leave the show, they vanished from the spotlight completely. Today, we're looking at 5 British actors who walked away at the height of their careers, or were quietly pushed out. No interviews, no comebacks, just silence. Let's get into it. If you are a fan of classic British sitcoms in the 70s, you'll be well aware of Beckinsale. Starring in Porridge and Rising Damp, his rare charisma was impossible to miss. Funny, gentle, and effortlessly attractive. Beckinsale was the only actor to star in 2 top-rated sitcoms simultaneously, something that is almost unheard in British TV history. He was a rising star with the world at his feet until he was no more. At just 31 years of age, Richard died of a heart attack in 1979. No health scares and no warnings at all. Just gone in his sleep. His death was not only devastating for those who worked with him, but left the nation shocked. In Ronnie Barker's words, "It was like losing a son." Here's where it gets weirder. The murmurs that he was working on a secret project that he never told the press about. He wanted to break away from his comedic roots and explore a darker and dramatic side. Yet no scripts or footages were ever found. Was he trying to reinvent himself? Or did he simply go tired of fame and need an escape from the public eye? His daughter, Kate Beckinsale, who is now a Hollywood star, once said, "There are parts of my father's life I'll never truly understand. He was so loved, but I think he was scared of fame." His departure was emotional as well, physical. His fans still wondered what might have become had he not met such an early demise. Would he have gone global? Possibly become Britain's next great dramatic actor? That's a mystery that still stings. A career cut short and a legacy frozen in time. Noel Edmonds, the man with the wild hair, dazzling shirts and an unforgettable magic of Deal or No Deal. Once a staple of British households, he was everywhere. In game shows and Saturday night variety, even paranormal specials. And then suddenly, poof. Following a brief stint on I'm a Celebrity in 2018, he practically vanished. No major hosting gigs and no big returns. Just the occasional glimpse of him on a New Zealand beach with a beard that could rival Gandalf's. But what happened? In a turn of events, Edmund hadn't just left the screen, but also the country entirely. Citing disillusionment with the UK media industry and the BBC in particular, he now lives in New Zealand. He claimed that the media treated him poorly and called it a machine designed to ruin lives. His story doesn't end with this sudden life-changing events, because he went to become deeply involved in spiritual healing and even launched a controversial electromagnetic wellness machine business. He claimed that the device could help people in recovering from cancer. This statement sparked some serious backlash from medical experts, sure, but even his fans couldn't believe their eyes. He also voiced his doubts about his father being killed at the hands of a negative energy cloud. Was this the same Edmund who pulled prank phone calls on Noel's house party? It is said that Edmund collapsed under the pressure of fame, while others believe he simply saw what was coming and left before the cameras stopped rolling once and for all. Whether you believe Noel's spiritual awakening or not, one thing's for sure. He didn't leave the screen, he escaped it. But still, it wouldn't hurt to see him back on screen with his Technicolor shirt and flashing red button. Millions of viewers knew Tone Scannell in the 1980s and 90s. He was most widely known for his role as Detective Sergeant Ted Roach in the long-running police drama, The Bill. He embodied the rough-edged, rule-bending detective with his heart and played more than just another supporting actor. His commanding presence, sharp delivery and intense looks he became the most beloved character of the show, and he appeared in more than 300 episodes between 1940 and 1993. As time passed by, he started appearing on the show as well as publicly, more and more rarely. While he did take a few smaller roles in Family Affairs and Evil Never Dies before the 2000s, after that, he had largely vanished from television altogether. For the fans who were used to watching him on screen at least once a week began to wonder where Tony had gone. In 2002, Scannell had declared bankruptcy as he owed nearly €430,000 in unpaid taxes. For those who assumed he was still working, it came as a huge shock as he retreated from the public. His online presence was minimal, with almost no sightings at all. Then came an even greater shock in 2002, when his friend shared online that Tone Scannell had passed away at the age of 74. The cause of death wasn't made public, and the tributes remained quite low profile, although full of emotions and pride. The silent nature of his demise after he faded from the public eye left many with a sense of sadness and curiosity. Till this day, he remains a TV legend whose absence still lingers like a story left unfinished. For over a decade, Mark Speight was a joyful, creative presence in millions of British homes. As the quirky host of CBBC's Smart, he inspired children across the country to paint, imagine, and express themselves. Always smiling, always animated, he even made messes magical. But in April 2008, Mark quietly stepped out of public life. And then, he never came back. Just months before, tragedy had struck. His fiancée, fellow children's presenter Natasha Collins, died suddenly of a drug overdose in their London flat. Mark, who found her body, was devastated. Though cleared of any wrongdoing, friends said he was crushed and could barely eat or speak. On April 7th, he was seen on CCTV at Queen's Park Tube Station in northwest London, looking tired and withdrawn. He boarded a train to Paddington, switched off his phone, and disappeared. Searches were launched, posters covered station walls, calls poured in, but no trace of him was found. There was no note, no warning, just a man who was once so full of colour and life, now swallowed by grief and silence. How does someone so visible, so loved, just vanish? The pain of his disappearance rippled far beyond his family. For the generation who grew up with him, it was a wound that never truly healed. Mark Speight didn't just go missing, he left behind a world that wasn't ready to lose him, and a mystery that still echoes through the years. He wasn't just a writer, he was a man of mystery. A former Royal Navy officer turned TV screenwriter, Mackintosh was best known for The Sandbaggers, a gritty, realistic Cold War drama that gave viewers an unusually accurate look into British intelligence operations. Too accurate, some said. One day in July 1979, life imitated art. Mackintosh boarded a small plane in Alaska with his girlfriend Susan Insull and pilot Graham Barber. Somewhere over the Gulf of Alaska, the aircraft issued a brief distress call and vanished from radar. No wreckage, no bodies, no clues. Despite search teams combing the area for days, not a single trace was ever found. To this day, theories swirl. Was it a tragic crash into deep waters? Or had Mackintosh, who was so immersed in the world of espionage, staged his own disappearance? His work had uncanny insights into MI6 procedures that weren't public at the time. Some insiders believed he had real connections to intelligence circles, and that he may have known too much. Whatever the truth, Ian Mackintosh left behind one of the eeriest legacies in British television history. A man who wrote about spies and vanished like one. Was it fiction meeting fate, or something darker, still hidden beneath the waves? The world of British television may be dazzling by the looks, but behind the limelight and laughter lie stories of silence and abrupt endings. people who leave without a trace, and if something returns, it's just conspiracies and the doubts left behind. Which disappearance haunted you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.